This is Nosterfield Nature Reserve, one of the premier wet grassland reserves in the north of England. In a survey carried out in 2018, more than 1,100 living species were found here, all inside a 100-hectare wildlife haven developed from former sand and gravel workings. But we think it could be even better by reintroducing species of plant absent for hundreds of years.
In terms of the historic landscape of this area, we know, for example, there were about 1,400 hectares of floodplain hay meadows in the lower Ewer and Swale valleys, and these meadows would have been full of birds like snipe and corncrakes and curlews. And in terms of species-rich flood meadow, that's actually as much as there is in the whole of England today, so that puts things in perspective.
In a quiet corner of the reserve, the Lower Ewer Conservation Trust is developing a specially built nursery for water-loving plants, all made possible by £50,000 worth of lottery funding.
In order to produce the number of plants that we need to put out on a landscape scale, we need a large plant nursery. We started with the little nursery behind us, which was funded by the Postcode Lottery. Immediately we realised we needed to get bigger. We got support from the Heritage Lottery Fund and the Local Nature Partnership, but crucially it's volunteers that did so much of the work.
From small isolated areas across North Yorkshire, where these rare plants still manage to hang on, seeds have been collected and brought here, where they are nurtured by the volunteers.
This is Carex elata, which is tufted sedge. It starts out as little tiny seedlings and then potted on after a few months, and then within 18 months in the polytunnel we've got something that's actually flowering, and then we'll be able to collect the seed. And this is a really good wetland plant for invertebrates because it produces a really tussocky structure, so there's lots of places for it to hide.
So the situation we're in today is we still have some of these very rare and threatened grassland and wetland habitats, but they've been reduced to tiny isolated fragments, just a few acres scattered over the surrounding districts. So what we're looking to do is to try and restore those habitats on a bigger and more joined up scale, the quarry here being one opportunity to do that.
Some species have already been planted out in a series of trials to determine ideal growing conditions. How best can we protect them in their first precious few months of life outdoors? Or indeed, do we need to protect them at all?
As we're working with a former mineral site and therefore something of a blank canvas. So the potential is there. What's really important is we have the evidence for the plant communities that we're here. So introducing those plants back into the landscape again gives us potential for species not just like bittern, but really looking to the future, species like crane, which would have been here a few hundred years ago.
So far, a staggering 10,000 plants have been given a fresh start here, for the benefit of the countless butterflies, insects and birds that enrich our lives.